Hello again everybody, and a very warm welcome back to yet another video here on my YouTube channel. Now, as the title says, I am going to do a review of the Hornby Bartellos Circus train set, which has been covered a little bit on YouTube, but nobody's ever covered it completely in full, including everything. So let's make a start. Let's start off with the loco, the obvious choice. Right, here she is. Lovely, very cute. There you go. That's the Bartellos Big Top Circus on the side here. Yeah, cool. Now this is obviously an 040 Class 06. Beautiful, lovely colouring, really nice, very cute. And I have to say that, of course, like Triang and many other model manufacturers, Hornby have made use of the tool-in mould, because this Class 06 shunt is being used in various guises under different names and different colours, so I can't blame them for reusing the tooling. So that's the loco as it comes with the set. So let's move on to the next bit. Next up we have the first wagon, and once again, if you can see, it says Bartellos Big Top Circus, which is obvious. It's got the ladder here as well. This is the genuine wagon that comes with it as part of the set. So that's nice and simple. So we'll move on to the next bit. Now, following that, we have this low loader, as you would call it. It's a just a single axle each end, with a circus tent on, and the circus poles on the top there, and on the top there, and on the inside there, as you can see. This also has stanchions on the side. If you don't know what a stanchion is, it's this bit here, look, what lifts up. And there's obviously 8 of those, but they're safer down for the moment. But when we move to the layout, I will of course put them up, which makes it look better then. So, okay, that's that one there. Next up, and the last one for this part of the video, is this here, which is another flatbed, but it's got the wooden, there's a name for these, I forget what it's called. It's basically to stop tyres of vehicles moving. It's some sort of like locking system with the tyres sit up against it. And again, this one's got the stanchions on the side, but again, I will put them up when we get it onto the layout. And the idea of this is that the item that comes with it was this here. This is the one, same again, Bartellos Circus Wildcats. And if we turn around, there we got the Wildcat cage. Bedford truck. I'm fairly sure this is a Bedford truck. Yep, and that's it. It's wicked. And that sort of, well, it does sit on there. Chocks, that's what they're called, wooden chocks. That's the word. Stop it from moving around when it's on the actual wagon being transported, like that. They're called chocks. So that's it. So that's the complete set. Now the set did actually come with track, controller. It came with a couple of side-ins. I believe there's a track mat, and I think you can buy, or you could buy, because it's not available anymore, but you could buy extension packs for it. So you could extension pack A and B, so you could lengthen things, add more vehicles, blah blah blah. But the basic set is what you've just seen. So the best thing to do now, before we go any further, is to move on up to the layout, and let's just see it run around for a couple of times. And here it is then, the original set in its entirety, but without any of the 2 add-on packs. So come on, it's very hard to control actually. I wish they'd have geared these shunters a bit better, because you've only got to touch it and it's like moving. So yeah, we'll just let it go round a couple of times. Let's have a look at, because I've got so much to show you. Here she comes. There we go. Lovely. Smack on. Perfect. Just tweak her up a little bit so I can get her back to the front for you. Here she comes again. Right. Now, that's it. Quite short and simple for that, because there's so much more to show you and tell you later. I just want to point 2 things out to you. Just remember here that I pointed out this wagon to you, because I'm going to tell you something about that, and also remember I pointed out to you about this tent here being in yellow and red. I'm going to tell you something about that as well a little later. So back down to the workshop, and let's carry on with the video. Well, I think it should look really cute and cool going around there on the layout just for a couple of times round, just to show you. And right, now the next thing I think I need to do is to show you everything else that Hornby did as part of the Bartellos Circus collection. Now when I say everything else, I mean everything bar one item, and that one item is a thorn in my side. I'll explain a bit later on. So let's have a look at some of the items then that goes with the Bartellos Circus set. Let's start with this. Okay, this is the giraffe wagon. Pretty obvious because of the height of it, of course. So yep, there it is. Pretty cute. Oh, and I must tell you, all the models, as in the vehicles, they were all made by Oxford Diecast, so especially for Hornby, obviously. This does open a ramp. It does open and come down like that. Doesn't quite touch the floor, but I'm sure the giraffes are quite capable of stepping onto that. Right, so that's the giraffe wagon that just clips back up like that. So that's that one. Now let me show you this. This is called the ballast truck. Let's move that one out of the way for a minute. This one is called the ballast truck, and obviously that would be for putting ballast down on the ground when the circus is all being built up, ready for the public. So that's the ballast truck. Now, all of these items are virtually discontinued, but some of them come up quite often on eBay, and some of them are extremely hard to find, which I'll explain a little later. But in the meantime, I must tell you that this is obviously immaculate. There was no box with it, and so is that. And I got the two of them for £3.20, which is an absolute bargain. So yeah, pretty cool stuff there. That's the first two. Next up, we have this one. It's the same sort of thing as what was with the Wildcats truck, but this time, as you can see, it says African Lions. So exactly the same Bedford truck, different naming, and it's got the two sets of grills there with the spacer down the middle rather than one full set of grills. But it's the same kind of thing, obviously, and same again on the other side. Now again, what I've done with all of this stuff for my collection of the Bartellos Circus stuff from Hornby, I don't buy anything as a set usually, unless it's desperate and I have to do it that way. Most of the time I look for oddments, and this again is another one of those what I would class as oddments. This one came along with this one, which is another giraffe truck, which you've just seen. But the thing is, the two were on a listing together for £6.99 plus £1.50 shipping. Well, you know, they're immaculate. No boxes. Who cares about the boxes? These were like Asda price. Asda here in the UK, that is. So that's that pair. So let's move on to some more. Now, you heard me say not too long ago that this stuff is all now discontinued, which it is, and it's getting very difficult to find. In fact, I had to search the world to get a couple of the items because I was absolutely insistent on collecting everything. This one here, pretty obvious, it's the elephant truck. Now, what does it say on there? Mighty herd of 16 elephants. I don't think 16 elephants would fit in that truck. I don't think so, but that one, yeah, I managed to find this one in the UK, so that was good. That was a good move. So I've got that one, like I say, from the UK. Right, next up, here we've got the souvenir shop, which is pretty cool. I think they're all Bedford trucks anyway, but that's no big deal. So this is the souvenir shop. You can see there, look, rear window. Pretty nice looking, look. Yeah, pretty cool that. Now this one I managed to find in the UK. It was difficult to find, but I did manage to get my hands on it. This was obviously brand new. Most of them are brand new, and the second-hand ones that I've just shown you, they were just, it's a great price, and you can't tell, they look like new anyway, so fine. So we'll put that one down. Now here's where the fun started. This one is the generator wagon. I'm sure you've all heard of a generator wagon. It's the kind of thing you get on a fairground, you know, with all the generators running, making all the noise to power the fun rides and everything, blah blah blah, and all the lighting. And of course, yeah, that's the generator van. This one was a pig to find. Now, fortunately, I did manage to find it in Australia. There was one for sale on a website in Australia, so I definitely went for that. And that was cool, that was good. And along with it came this. Check this out. Right, this is called, this is like, I think they call it a caravan. It's like a caravan. It's articulated, as you can see, and it's obviously the travelling home for the travellers, the circus people, blah blah blah. So there, yeah, that's a lovely model. It's really really lovely, which is pretty cool. So I'm really pleased with that. And that one, along with the souvenir shop, sorry, the generator wagon, they came from Australia. So I was very lucky to find those. That was really good. Everybody is sold out of everything nowadays, of all of this stuff. So it's difficult to find it. But as I say, I did manage to get that one. Right, next up. And yet another item, part of the Bartellos Circus set, is this one. This is the booking office, obviously, as you can see. It's really cute, it really looks nice. There are some steps that sit here down to the floor level, same level as the wheels, and I put those away safe out of the way for reasons which I'll explain why later. But there it is, the booking office, which is really nice, really good. And again, I'm very pleased to be able to have that, so that makes another one towards the full set. Now we have this one, which again is another articulated one, obviously. I think it's going to come off. It has just come off. It's me twisting it round to 90 degrees there. That's how they hook on like that. But you know, no worries. Yeah, Bedford tow truck there, along with this, which is obviously similar to the caravan for the proprietors of the circus, but this is classed as the camel truck for obvious reasons. Yeah, so that one is the camel truck, articulated again. And then last up, oh, I'm running out of room here. Last up, we've got this. Now this is brilliant. This is the little mini. That's a little mini look. Oh, it's lovely, absolutely gorgeous little mini advertising van, I think they call it, something like that. And that is again part of the set to complete the set, sorry, of the Bartellos stuff. Now, this is where things become a thorn in my side and a pain in the ass. There's one more item to complete the whole of the Bartellos Hornby Circus set, and what is missing is something called an Angular, which is the name of a Ford car here in the UK, a Ford Angular, and it is a candy floss van with an extended roof. It's just lovely, but I have searched the world and I can't get one. It's the only thing I haven't got, and I'm sure you can understand now why I call it a pain in the arse. I have really tried hard to find it. Everybody is sold out. I'm on eBay every day and still one hasn't turned up. But when it does, I'm going to show you just to prove it. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to continue this video with the one item missing. Okay, let's have a brief recap here on what you've seen so far in the video. You've seen the original set of the Loco and 3 rolling stock as Hornby brought it out. Obviously not with the track and everything, because I don't really need that. And I didn't actually buy that set as a set. It actually came as a brand new locomotive with 2 brand new of the rolling stock, but there was one item missing, which I later got on a separate issue, separate bidding on eBay, which made, of course, the full set. Now, you've seen that running, which is fine, brilliant. Now, you've also seen, through the rest of this video so far, all the vehicles that were made to go with the set for the Bartellos train set, circus train set, which is great. So now, at this point in the video, there's more to show you. Right, my idea was to make a train, a circus train, that was much longer and featured much more items than was in the original item, with like just the loco and the three rolling stock. And I realised that Hornby actually reused the mould which they used for this one here, which you saw earlier as being the original truck from the original set. They reused that mould to make more trucks, but this time they were nothing to do with Bartellos. What they were to do with was the Thomas Tank Engine series, and fine, that's great, but what they didn't do is actually have any reference to Thomas the Tank Engine on them, which meant they made quite a few wagons exactly the same as the one you've just looked at. Here's one, but the difference is it's got this sticking out badge on the front, well, circus advert, whatever you want to call it, but it's sticking out slightly, it's external. They made quite a few of these, but like I say, there's no mention of Thomas the Tank Engine, so I thought, well look, this can make one hell of a circus train. And you can see quite clearly that it's going to work, because this one, you can see here with the blue V, that's one of them. Then they made this one, which has got the diamond shapes on it there. Then they made this one. Now when I say made them, these come in quite often like a set of 4 or 3, but this one with the red and the yellow upside and the yellow up lines there, and we're a right way to express this. Then you've got this one, which has got the half moons there and there, as you can see. Again, nothing to do with Thomas referenced on them at all. Then we had this one, which again is different. It's got the V again, but this time it's red, not blue. So these are all actually different. Now I do happen to have 2 of these with the blue, and this is all down to the fact that I buy stuff as a job lot or parts missing, blah blah blah, but we've got 2 of those. And then here you've got another one that's different, which features 2 V's, and this time it's blue and red, as you can see there. And then we've got lastly this one. Now this one, yeah, it's obviously got the upright red and blue, red and yellow stripes. Now this one obviously is not like the original one that came with the set, which is this one, as you can see there. And it's one of the reasons why I mentioned to you when I ran the original set round a little while ago to take note of this, because this one here, although it's got the similar kind of markings, it's obviously not the same. And a lot of people, well, a lot of people on YouTube, sorry, do forgive me, a lot of people on eBay do actually list this as rare. Yes, it's kind of rare, but it's not super rare, and it's definitely not the correct one for the original set, which featured that one there. So you can see now why I pointed this out to you a little earlier on. Okay, as I said to you earlier, I generally try to buy things rather than in sets. I try to buy them as like separate items, or parts missing, or service or spares or repair, blah blah blah. That way you generally tend to get sets together in a much cheaper way. Now I've done that with most of this Bartellos Circus Hornby stuff, and in doing so I've ended up with some duplicates, which is not a big deal, but I'll just show you briefly. First of all, as you know, I mentioned a bit earlier, I've got 2 of these wagons with the blue V, as I would call it, so no big deal of course. I've also ended up with 2 of this. Now these are the original ones, which you saw on the set running on the layout a little earlier. These are quite rare to find, these are pretty hard to find, but of course I've ended up with 2 of them by doing the job lots my own way. I've also ended up with 2 of these, which I mentioned to you earlier briefly, of the giraffe wagons. I've got 2 of those. Well, again, the price was absolutely right, so I ended up with 2, no big deal. I've also got not only 1 of the Wildcats wagons, which you saw earlier off the original set, but 2, and even a 3rd one. And you know, this is not I mean, they've cost me little or nothing. At the end of the day, it's not that unrealistic to think that there would be enough wildcats on a circus train that it might take 2 or even 3 wagons to transport them to the next town for the next circus event. So yeah, no worries at all. What else have I got? Let's have a look. Right, one more thing to tell you. 2 more things, sorry. You saw the caravan wagon here, truck here, which transports the staff from the circus. That one came from Australia and it cost me $13.99, which was okay because I was struggling to find it. But then shortly afterwards another one came up on the British eBay, and like that cost me like $3.99. so I'm thinking like, well, hang on, okay, I can have 2, I ain't got a problem with that. So 2 it is, and there they are. Now, last thing to show you before we move on even again is this. This is actually pretty damn rare. I paid 41 quid for this, and I'm sure that is a lot of money for a cattle wagon, but it is part of the set. It's classed as the Bartellos Circus cattle wagon, and why you would want cows or sheep in a circus I'm not really sure, but that's what it's classed as. And if you look carefully here, if I hold it against one of the other wagons, like this original one here from the original set, you'll see that it is actually much longer. So they must have used a separate mould to produce this, and maybe that's the reason why it's pretty scarce and pretty sought after. So yep, we'll move on again in a minute. Well guys, here we are at this point in the video. You've already seen the original set of the Bartellos Circus from Hornby, which consisted of the 1 loco and the 3 rolling stock. You've also seen all of the vehicles that were also produced as part of the series, apart from that one elusive candy floss van which I told you about earlier. They are all part of the series, of course. You've also seen stuff that is perfectly alright to use as part of a circus train, although they were originally designated for the Thomas sets, but they don't have any relevance of Thomas on them, so that makes them fine for being used in another circus environment. And pretty much now we've got a mass of stuff that I would love to pull round on the layout as a massive circus train. The problem I have now is, how the hell do I do this? Let me explain how I got away with it. Earlier on, when I run the original set with just the loco and the 3 rolling stock, I did point out to you again something that I wanted you to remember, and I will bring to your attention later on in the video, which I'm going to do now. Now, one of those things was the fact that here is this original low loader with the red and yellow tent with all the poles that you saw much earlier on in the video. But when it came to the Thomas sets, they actually used the same mould again, twice, and they did it by producing this low loader again, twin wheels, a single axle each end, but this time you can plainly see it's in white and red. It's got the same tent poles there and some underneath, blah blah blah, as you can see there. But it's a different colour, so let's call that tent number 2. Then they went even further and they brought out this one, which again is just simple single axle at each end, articulated kind of thing, and it's got a load on it which looks kind of like a tent. There's no stanchions on this one, it's the only one which doesn't have them, but it is a kind of tent load. Again, I think it was a part of the Thomas set or series bar basically, but at the end of the day it's like 3 different tent wagons all together like that, and there they are, all 3 of them. So yeah, more to come. The next thing was, again, thinking about how I can make this amazing full-length train set of circus stuff. How can I possibly do this? And the idea was also to get some more of the low loaders. Now this one here is a typical example of one of them. It does have the stanchions again. This one came as incomplete with the load, so I've removed the load. You can still see where some of the glue was, but I've removed that because I'm capable of putting a lorry or a loader onto that one. And the same thing applies again with this one, which will give us another loader for another lorry or another wagon of different sorts. So further on we go. I have actually just found another low loader that came through at the right price with the load missing or broken or whatever. So obviously they're great. I've got 3 of those now. So, and they're absolutely fantastic for putting a wagon on like that, or a truck on like that, which of course is great. So that's 3 of those. Now the problem is, what I wanted to do was I wanted to put these on the train, and there's no way, cat in horse chance, it's not going to go on there, obviously. And I was racking my brain thinking, how can I do this? Right, let me explain. A couple of years ago, and late one night, I was looking on eBay, as you do, just not looking for anything special, but looking through, and I stumbled across this here in the UK. Right, now this is it's quite a long box. I'm not going to get the whole shot in, but you can see it anyway. I didn't know what I was going to do with it. It was about £5, and what it is, it's a kit form of 4 long low loaders. It's American, obviously, so it's HO scale, but I just bought it because, I don't know, I didn't know what I was going to do with it, so I just bought it, and I've had it for a couple of years. And what you had to do with this is basically just put the 4 long wagons together. Then you did the underframe putting on and the top putting on, blah blah blah, and it's a real simple job to make them up. But say there was 4 in that, and I sort of remembered I got this, so I dug it out, put them all together, and this is what they look like that. And they've got the rubber strips here for the tyres for any vehicles to go on. It's not Bartellos, I accept that, but I'm not too fussed about that. My plan is to get a lovely long train, a circus train. Now it's obviously got the American style hook couplings on, which is not a problem to put them all together themselves. And you've got a lovely orange one, look, colours almost perfect match to the rest of the Bartellos stuff. So we've got 2 there, and then we've got a lovely yellow one, which again the colour is perfect for adding onto this set. And you'll see quite obviously that I can put now those on the train. Oh yes, that was a corker. So the 4th one is here, which is another yellow one. And I'm just going to show you this one briefly now, because we're nearly done here. Is that because these are HO scale, they're a gnat's cock lower, tad lower, sorry. But I came up with this idea to make this right. I needed to couple to the rest of the train. Obviously it's not a problem coupling to each other from that end, but I needed to convert it. So what I've done, you see there, I took the old hook coupling off, I've glued onto it an NEM packet there, socket, which obviously takes the NEM coupling, what coupling you like, can put in it. And so I've obviously put the standard Hornby type one in, the large one, so it fits to the rest of the train. And not only that, the height is smack on now. I've lowered it. You wouldn't believe how well that turned out. It's brilliant, and I'll show you that when we're on the layout. Which, talking about layouts, well, I think that's it, guys. I think we need to go and put all this together now. Stay with me. Well guys, here it is, the moment of truth. Okay, I'll just take you through a little bit slowly, just to show you the length of it, first up. And it looks amazing. She goes all the way around to there, look. Okay, cool. So, right, now the question is, can this little 06 shunter pull it? My gut feeling tells me no. We'll try. Not a cat in hell's chance. So right, so what do you do? Well, I'll tell you what you do. You go out and you find another one on eBay, which is, you know, cheap, few quid, because it's split from the set, or it's got broken couplings, or needs a service, non-runner, blah blah blah, and you strip it, clean it, service it and put it together with the other one, and then now maybe it might just go. So let's try it. It started to pull it, but once all the couplings, once the slack was taken up on the couplings, no, unfortunately not. So what do you do now? You go out and buy another cheap one for another few quid, and you do the same thing to that. Strip it, service it, clean it, wash it, make it look new like that, which it's not. Well, now we've got a triple header. Let's see if we can do it now. Come on, girls. That's more like it. There they go. Absolutely amazing. That is a hell of a long circus train, and I think it just looks absolutely outstanding. Right, let's bring them round so you can see what we've got. Obviously we've got the triple header. Right, and then you've got the first wagon, that's the original one there. Then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all different. They're the circus clown ones. Then you've got the rare cattle wagon. Then you've got 1, 2, 3 of the tents. And you've got the loader with the wildcats, the loader with the African lions, the loader with the booking office, the loader with the souvenir shop. Then we've got the first of the low loaders. I'll stop there a minute, with the caravan on, which looks fantastic on that. And if you just have a look at this, look how spot on those couplings are. That's the one that I converted. It's absolutely spot on in height, look. Absolutely brilliant. That worked out fantastic. So we'll keep them moving around a little bit more. It's really hard to take up all the slack without jerking it. Then you've got the camel truck on the next low loader. Then we've got the elephant truck and the generator wagon, and then on the end we've got the little mini there, look, on his own, oh bless, and the ballast truck, and then the giraffe truck right on the end. So I'll just get it round just for the ones over here for you. One quick run by. Guys, that is something else. This has to be the longest circus train on YouTube. I hope it is. Right, I'm just going to take her round and stop her over there at the side. That'll be fine just there, because... oh, that was a bit abrupt. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to leave her there for now, because this is now the end of part 1 of this video, and I'm now going to move on to part 2. Welcome back to part 2, everybody, and let me just bring this round now to show you something else that's going to be running today on this fantastic circus day. Just check out these. These are both Rivarossi. Right, that'll do there. Both Rivarossi. There they are. I have run these before together like this a long time ago. I've got quite a few of these old American steamers. I love the style of these. Yeah, that's the Virginia and Kentucky Railroad. That one's Genoa, as I'm sure you can see there. Cool. And then the other one is Inyo, which again I'm sure you'll be able to read just there. So they look fantastic together as a double header. And I've got a circus train with this, of course. And this time it's Barnum's special advertising coaches. Now I've got these 4 out of the box where all the circus stuff is, and I'm sure I bought another one and I can't find it for love nor money. I just cannot find it. I thought I knew which box it was in. It definitely didn't get put in this box, but I can't find it, so we'll run it without. And on the end we've got the Scenic Railroad. Caboose, beautiful little caboose, look, it's lovely. So I'll just take her around just quickly for you. I'm going to show you something else I'm going to add on to the end. Right, we'll stop her there. I'm just going to put something on the end. So Hang on a minute. Right, just check this out. Carefully does it. Let me show you this close up. Right, that's focus is okay. Come on, you get a focus camera, that's better. Right, scenic car, full of spectators. Look at that, man. That's brilliant. Now, I didn't buy it like this. I've done this. You can see inside, it's completely full of the spectators, the holiday makers, tourists, whatever you want to call them. And it took me 5.5 hours non-stop, apart from probably a cup of tea or maybe a glass of whiskey, to actually populate this. Every single one done by hand, carefully, because the roof wouldn't come off, so I literally had to do it through the windows on every one of them. And I'm really pleased with that, because I've never seen this done on a layout. I'm sure somebody probably has, but I've never seen it done. So we got there the tourist coach, wagon, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to put her on. Give me a second. Here she is then, and it looks absolutely amazing. So let's take her away. I'm really pleased with that. I really am. That was a nice little touch, I thought. Get her through just once. Fantastic. Love it. Loving it. Stoppages here. We're obviously going to see everything running in just a few minutes now. So last up on this fantastic fun mega circus day, mammoth circus day, here comes another circus train. Right, this is Corkeys Carnival Caravan Circus. Here she is. There she is. Looks pretty cool. And obviously we've got one wagon there, which is a carousel. That one obviously looks like the big wheel type thing, family fun. And then we've got another one with captive beasts. And then finally we've got Corkeys Caravan Carnival on the end there, which is the caboose with the chimney as well. They're quite often missing. Most of mine are actually on them. So there, that's it. I think it's time to get it all running. Don't go anywhere. Okay then folks, here we go. I'm looking forward to doing this and seeing them all running. I hope you are as well, so let's just get on with the show. The Corkeys Carnival first. Perfect. Just get a nice steady speed with everything. Yeah, that looks quite good. That looks pretty okay, I would say. Right, the two old timers. I love these locos. Yeah. There are no lights on the front of these, by the way. The Airfix one has lights on the front, but I'm not a big fan of Airfix locomotives. So yeah, that looks good. Alright, come on, let's have the mammoth one on the go. Keep it nice and steady. Oh yes. Don't you just love it? Fantastic. Right, let's get some shots. Oh, I'm loving this. Hell's bells I am. I love the balloon stack chimneys on those. They're great, they are. Superb. Yeah, looking great they are. Marvellous. Let me get up here a bit more on my knees as always. Oh dear. Sorry about that. Oh, that was good. Two of them together there, that was good. I'm very pleased with the little scenic wagon with all the tourists in. That's come out really good. I'm very pleased with that, really. The length of that, man. Wow. Well, this one has actually been 3 days in the making, quite simply because it's a lot to do, obviously, and I had to spend an hour or so putting those long loaders together, which are on the end of here, of course, as you see. So yeah, well, I'm hoping for another first on YouTube. Shall we say, hopefully the longest circus train on YouTube. And also probably the busiest circus day on YouTube, with trains that is. Well, we've had a good run around, hopefully you've enjoyed it. So I'll just very carefully get over here and we'll bring them to the stop, like we normally do. Oh, sorry. Okay. Right, well, we'll get the, let it go around once more. Come on, ladies, all three of you. That's good, that's fine there. Okay, a couple of old timers. Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. Lovely, jubbly. Okay, let's get the Corkeys Carnival onto a halt. Well, that's it. We made it. Hey, and how about that? No coupling issues, no derailments, no nothing. I mean, that's quite something for a train of that kind of length, and particularly pulling that quite kind of weight with 3 locos on the front. So there you have it, finished. I suppose best thing to do is just say the usual, you know, thanks for everything, all your support and comments and everything. It's always great. I'm going to do my usual thing, just say good night, God bless, look after each other and yourselves, and I'm going to go out with a still photo of the Ford Anglia candy floss van from Hornby, which I haven't managed to get my hands on yet. So we'll do that, we'll fade out with that, and I've got something up my sleeve, pretty different again for the next one. So till next time guys, thanks for watching, toodaloo, bye. Sorry, yeah, I'm back again. I forgot to show you this. These are the duplications. I've not put anything on twice, so I'm quite happy to let these go. We've got the caravan long one there, the articulated one, giraffe, wagon, got two of the wildcat cars, wagons. I've got that one, the blue V as I call it, that's just an odd one there really. And then of course I've got that one, which is pretty rare, and I don't need two of them. So if anybody's interested in any of this to help you complete a setup of your own, then just contact me through YouTube and we'll sort something out. Alright, thanks again, bye.